Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wiser sorrow think on him together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and one dropping eye, with mirth and funeral, and with dirge and marriage, in equal scale, weighing delight and dole, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. But now, Laertes, what's the news with you? You told us of some suit. What is it, Laertes? You cannot speak of reason to the Dane and lose your voice. What wouldst thou beg, Laertes, that shall not be my offer, not thy asking? The head is more native to the heart, the hand more instrumental to the mouth, than is the throne of Denmark to thy father. What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
Dread my lord, your leave in favour to return to France, from whence though willingly I came to Denmark to show my duty in your coronation, yet now I must confess that duty done, my thoughts and wishes bend again toward France, and bow them to your gracious leave and pardon.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave by laboursome petition. And at last upon his will I sealed my hard consent. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes, time be thine, and thy best graces spend it at thy will. But now, my cousin Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy knighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever, with thy veiled lids, seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is. I know not seems. It is not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration of forced prayers, no, nor the fruitful river in the eye, nor the dejected behaviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem. For they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father. For you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his, and the survivor bound in filial obligation to do obsequious sorrow. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of unmanly grief. 'Tis impious stubbornness. It shows a will most incorrect to heaven, a heart unfortified, a mind impatient, an understanding simple and unschooled. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe, and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note, you are the most immediate to our throne, and with no less nobility of love than that which dearest father bears his son, do I impart toward you. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire. And we pray you, beseech you, bend you to remain here, in the cheer and comfort of our eye, our chiefest courtier, cousin, and our son.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us. Go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unschooled accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. Come, away.
Oh, let this do to solid flesh would melt. thaw and resolve itself into a dew. Oh, that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh, God. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it. Oh, fie. 'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely, that it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the wings of heaven visit a face too roughly. Heaven and earth must I remember. Why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite has grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month! Let thee not think on. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month. Oh, ere those shoes were old, with which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that once discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules, within a month. Yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left a flushing in her golded eyes. She married. Oh, most wicked speed to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell, dear sister. And as convoy gives assistant in Windsor benefit, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
As for Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, consider it a fashion, and a toy in blood, a violet in the youth of primary nature. Forward, not lasting, sweet, not permanent. The perfume and suppliance of a minute, no more.
No more but so?
Think it no more. Perhaps he loves you now, and now no soil nor coddle doth besmirch the virtue of his will, but you must fear his greatness weighed. His will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve out for himself, for on his choice depends the safety and health of this whole state, and therefore must his choice be circumscribed unto the voice and yielding of that body whereof he is the head. Then, if he says he loves you, if it's your wisdom so far to believe it, as he in his particular act and place may give his saying deed, which is no further than the main voice of Denmark goes withal, then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs, or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure ope to his unmastered importunity. Fear it, dear sister, fear it. I'll keep you in the rear of your affection, out of the shot and danger of desire. Best safety lies in fear. Youth to itself rebels, though none else near.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart. But, good my brother, do not, as some ungracious pastors do, show me the steep and thorny path to heaven, whilst, like a puffed and reckless libertine, himself the primrose path of dalliance treads, and recks not his own reed.
Oh, fear me not. But I stay too long. Ah, my father comes. A double blessing is a double grace. Occasion shines upon a second lead.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard for shame! The wind sits on the shoulder of your sail, and you are stayed for. My blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thought no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. The friends thou hast, their adoption tried, grapple them unto thy soul with hoops of steel, but do not dull thy palm with entertainment of each new-hatched, unfledged comrade. Beware of entrance to a quarrel, but being in, bear that the opposed may beware of thee. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, but not gaudy, for apparel oft proclaims the man, and they in France of the best rank and station are most select and generous chief in that. Neither a borrower nor a lender be, for loan oft loses both itself and friend, and borrowing dulls the edge of husbandry. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell! My blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you, go, you servant stand.
Farewell, and Ophelia, remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is it, Ophelia, he hath said to you?
So please you, something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Aye, very well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you, and you yourself have been of your audience most free and bounteous. If it be so, and so just put on me, and that by way of caution, I must tell you do not understand yourself so clearly as behooves my daughter and your honor. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Oh, you speak like a green girl, and sifted in such perilous circumstance. What do you make of these things, as you call them?
I do not know what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Think yourself a baby that you've taken these tenders for true pay, which are not sterling. Oh, tender yourself more dearly, or, well, not to ruin the poor wind of a phrase by cracking it thus, I'll tender myself more dearly.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion,
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springs is to catch woodcocks. I do know that when the blood boils, how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows, and these blazes, daughter, giving more light than heat, and extinct in both, even in their promises it is a making, you must not take for fire. In few, Ophelia, do not believe his vows, for they're brokers. Not only die which their investments show, but mere implorers of unholy suits, breathing like sanctified and pious bawds the better to be God. Now this is for all. I would not, in plain terms, from this time forth, have you so slander a moment's leisure to give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it. I charge you, come your ways.
I shall obey, my lord.
How does my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent. Well, you are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord.
Aye, sir. To be honest, as this world goes, is to be one man picked out of 10,000.
That is very true, my lord.
Or if the sun breeds maggots in the dead dog, being a god-kissing carrion. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter, yet he knew me not. He thought I was a fishmonger. Far gone, far gone. Even in my youth, I tarried as much for sort of thing. I must speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words. Words. Words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
The matter that you read, my lord.
Ah, slanders, sir. For the satirical rogue says, here, that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands, all which, sir, do I most powerfully and potently believe, yet I hold in that honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, sir, shall grow old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backwards.
Let this be madness, yet there is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
That is indeed out of the air. How printed sometimes his replies are. It's a happiness that madness often hits upon, which reason and sanity cannot be so prosperously delivered of. I'll contrive of a meeting between him and my daughter, and take my leave of you. My honorable lord, I most humbly will take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I'll more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Fare you well, my lord.
These tedious old fools.
He will come straight now. Look, you lay home to him. Tell him his pranks have been too broad to bear with, and that your grace has suffered much heat between them. Now, I'll silence me in here. Pray you be round with him.
I warrant you, fear me not.
Mother!
Withdraw. I hear him coming.
Mother! Mother! Now, Mother. What's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Now, how now, Hamlet?
Oh, what's the matter now?
Have you forgot me?
No, by the root not so, you are the queen. Your husband's brother's wife. And would it were not so, you are my mother.
Nay, then I'll set those to you that can speak.
Come, sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me! Help! Help! Help!
Help! Help! Oh! Help!
How now? A rat! Dead! For a ducat! Dead!
I'd slay.
Oh, me, what hast thou done?
I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this!
Bloody deed almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king!
My lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Well, I took thee for thy better. Take thy fortune. Thou find'st to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, and sit you down, and let me wring your heart. For so I shall, if it be made of penetrable stuff, if then this custom have not brassed it so, that it be proof and bullock against sense.
What have I done, that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty, calls virtue hypocrite, takes up the rose from the fair forehead of an innocent love and sets a blister there, makes marriage vows as false as dice's oaths. Oh, such a deed, that from the body of contraction plucks the very soul, and sweet religion makes rhapsody of words. Heaven's face does glow, yea, this solidity and compound mass with tristful visages against the doom is thought sick at the act.
Ay me, what act? That roars so loud and thunders in the index!
Look, here, upon this picture. And on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See, what the grace was seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls, the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command. A station like the herald Mercury new lighted on a heaven-kissing hill, a combination and a form indeed, where every god did seem to set his seal to give the world assurance of a man. This was your husband. But you now, fathers, here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? Huh? Have you eyes? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday in the blood is tame, it's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment would step from this to this? Sense. Sure you have, else could you not have motion, but sure the sense is perplexed. For madness would not no sense to ecstasy was ne'er so thrall, but it reserved some quantity of choice to serve in such a difference. What devil was that thought there's cousin you were the good men blind? Eyes without feeling, feelings without sight, ears without hands or eyes, smelling sans soul. Oh, but the sickly part of one true sense would not so move. Oh, shame! Where's thy blush? Rebellious hell, if thou canst mutine in a matron's bones, to flaming youth let virtue be as wax and melt in her own fire. Proclaim no shame when compulsive ardor gives the charge, since frost itself as actively doth burn, and reason panders will.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st mine eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave their tint.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enceined bed, stewed in corruption, hunting and making love over the nasty sty.
Speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in mine ears, no more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave that is not 20th part of the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cupbearer of the empire and the rule, that from a shelf the precious diadem stole and put it in his pocket.
No more!
King of shreds and patches! Oh, save me, and hover over me with your wings, you heavenly gods. What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide that lapsed in time and passion lets go by the important acting of your dread command? Oh, say!
Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look! Amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Conceit in weakest bodies, strongest works. Speak to her, Hamlet.
How's it with you, lady?
How is it with you? That you do bend your eye on vacancy, and with the incorporeal air do hold discourse. O gentle sun, upon the heat and flame of thy distemper sprinkle cool patience. Whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look you, how pale he glares. His form and course conjoined, preaching to stones would make them capable. Do not look upon me, lest with these piteous actions you convert my stony friends. Then what I have to do will want true color, tears, perchance for blood.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is, I see.
Oh, did you nothing hear?
No, nothing but ourselves.
Why, look you! There! Look, where it steals away! My father, in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes, even now out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse, as yours, does temperately keep time and makes as healthful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Bring me to the test, and I, the matter, will reword which madness would gamble from. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. It will but skin and film the ulcerous place, whilst rank corruption, mining all within, infects unseen. Confess yourselves to heaven. Repent what's past. Avoid what is to come. And do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them rancor. Forgive me this my virtue, for in the fatness of these pursy times, virtue itself of vice must pardon beg, yea, curb and woo for leave to do him good.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
I'll throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. That monster custom, who all sense doth eat, of habit's devil is angel, yet in this, that to the use of actions fair and good, he likewise gives a frock or livery that aptly is put on. Refrain tonight, and that shall lend a kind of easiness to the next abstinence, the next more easy. For use almost can change the stamp of nature, and either master the devil, or throw him out with wondrous potency. Once more, good night. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For the same Lord I do repent. Heaven hath pleased it so to punish me with this and this with me, that I must be their scourge and minister. I will bestow him, and will answer well the death I gave him. So again, good night. I must be cruel only to be kind. Thus bad begins, and worse remains behind. One word more, good lady.
What shall I do?
Not this, by no means that I bid you do. Let the bloated king tempt you again to bed. Pinch wanton on your cheek, call you his mouse, and let him, for a pair of reechy kisses, or paddling in your neck with his damned fingers, make you to revel all this matter out. That I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft. To a good you let him know. For who that's but a queen, fair, sober, wise, would from a paddock, a bed, a jib, such dear concernings hide? Who would do so? No. In despite of sense and secrecy, unpeg the basket on the house's top, let the birds fly, and like the famous ape, in the basket creep, and break your own neck down.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath and breath of life, I have no life to breathe what thou hast said to me.
I must to England. You know that?
Alack, I forgot. 'Tis so concluded on.
There's letters sealed, and my two schoolfellows, whom I will trust as I will add as feigns, they bear the mandate they must sweep my way and marshal me to knavery. Let it work. For 'tis a sport to have the engineer hoist with his own petard, and he shall go hard. But I will delve 1 yard below their mine, and blow them at the moon. 'Tis most sweet when in one line 2 crafts directly meet. This man shall set me packing, I locked the guts into the neighbor room. Mother, good night. Indeed, this counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Come, sir, to draw toward an end with you. Good night, mother.
I will not speak with her.
She is importunate, indeed distract. Her moods will need be pitied.
What would she have?
She speaks much of her father. Says she hears the tricks in the world, and hems and beats her heart, spurns enviously at straws, speaks things in doubt that carry but half sense. Her speech is nothing, yet the unshaped use of it doth move the hearers to collection. They aim at it, and botch the words up fit to their own thoughts, which, as her winks and nods and gestures yield them, indeed would make one think there might be thought, though nothing sure, yet much unhappily.
'Twere good she was spoken with, for she may strew dangerous conjectures in ill-breeding minds. Let her come in. To my sick soul, as sin's true nature is, each toy seems prologue to some great amiss. So full of artless jealousy is guilt, it spills itself in fearing to be spilt.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark?
How now, Ophelia?
How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockle hat and staff and his sandal shoon.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Nay, pray you, Mark. 'Tis dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone. At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone.
Nay, but
Pray you, Mark! Wipe his shroud as the mountain snow, but it all with sweet flowers, which be wet to the grave did go, with true love shouts.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God build you. They say the owl was the baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
Seat upon her, father.
No, pray you, let's have no words of this. But when they ask you what it means, say you this. Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning bedtime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and knocked the chamber door. Let in the maid that helped the maid never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia.
Indeed, Lord, without an oath, I'll make an end on it. By gifts and by said charity, elect and fight for shame. Young men will do it if they come to it. By cock they ought to blame. Quoth she, before you tumbled me, you promised me to wed. So what I had done, my yonder son, and thou hast not come to my bed.
How long has she been thus?
We must be patient. I hope all will be well. But I cannot choose but weep to think that they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know of it. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night.
Follow her close.
Good
Give her good watch, I pray you. Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Oh, Gertrude, Gertrude, when sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone, and he most violent author of his own just remove. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment, without the which we are pictures or mere beasts. Last, and as much containing as all these, her brother is in secret come from France, with pestilent speeches of his father's death. Oh, my dear Gertrude, this, like to a murdering peace, in many places gives me superfluous death.
What noise is this?
The doors are broke!
Where's this king? Oh, thou vile king, give me my father!
Holy good Laertes!
That drop of blood that's calm proclaims me bastard. Brands the harlot even here between the chaste unsmirched brow of my true mother.
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him alone, Gertrude. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead?
But not by him!
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance, vows to the blackest devil, conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. To this point I stand, that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes, only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Who shall stay you?
My will, not all the world. And for my means I shall husband them so well they shall go far with little.
Good Laertes, if you mean to find the certainty of your dear father's death, is it written your revenge that sweepstake you will draw both winner and loser, friend and foe?
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
To his good friends thus wide I'll ope my arms, and like the kind life-rendering pelican repass them with my blood.
Why, now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. Then I am guiltless of your father's death, and most sensibly in grief for it, it shall as level to your judgment pierce as day does to your eye.
Yeah.
Oh no, what noise is this? Oh. He dried up my brains. Tears 7 times salt burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. By heaven, thy madness shall be paid, and wait till our skill turn the beam. Rosamond, sweet maid, kind sister, dear Ophelia. Is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life? Nature is fine in love, and where 'tis finds in some precious instance of itself after the thing it loves.
They bore him barefaced on the bier. Hey, na-na-na-nee, na-nee, hey, na-nee. And on his grave rained many a tear. Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and did persuade revenge, it could not move thus!
Oh, you must sing a down, when you call him a down. Oh, it is the false steward that stole the master's daughter.
Oh, this nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray you, love, remember. There's pansies. Gifts for thoughts. There's fiddle and columbine. Oh, there's rue for you. And here's some for me. We may call it Herb Grace's Sundays. Oh, but you must wear your rue with a difference. There's a daisy. I would have brought you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. Oh, bonny sweet Robin is all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself she turns to
And will
favor
he
and
not
prettiness.
come again? And will he not come again? No, no, he is dead, gone to thy deathbed. He never will come again. His beard was as white as snow. All silken was his pall. He is gone. He is gone. And we cast away moan
Oh, God, have mercy on his soul. Oh, and of all Christian souls, I pray, God be with thee.
Do you see this, O God?
Good Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. If by direct or by collateral hand they find us touched, we will our kingdom give, our crown, our life, and all that we call ours, to you in satisfaction. But if not, be you prepared to lend us your patience. Together we will jointly labor with your soul and give it you content.
Let this be so. His means of death? His obscure burial, no trophy, no sword, no hatchment over his bones? No noble right, no formal ostentation? Cry to be heard. This were from heaven and earth that I was called to question.
So you shall. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall. I pray you come with me. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel, so fast they follow. Your sisters drowned, Laertes.
Drowned. Oh. Where?
There is a willow, grows aslant a brook, that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make, of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant bough, her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, and down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like a while they bore her out, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native, and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, hold the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Less than she is drowned?
Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Yet it is our trick. Nature her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the woman will be out. Farewell, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow, Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now, fair eye, this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
fall and make him by inch me ill disease. His spirits hear me, and yet I needs must curse, but don't know pinch. Fright me with urchin shows, pitch me in the mire, nor lead me like a firebrand in the dark out of my way, unless he bid him up for every trifle all they set upon me. Sometime like apes that mow and chatter at me, enough to bite me, then like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness. Lo, now, lo, here comes a spirit of his, and to torment me for bringing wooden slowly, or fall flat. Perchance he will not mind me.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear off any weather at all. And another storm coming. I can hear it singing the wind. Yon same black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul bombard that was shed his liquor. If it should thunder as it did before, I don't know where to hide me head. There is no shelter hereabouts. Yon same black cloud cannot choose but fall by pale falls. Oh! What have we here? Man or fish? Dead or alive? A fish. Oh! It smells like a fish. Oh! A most ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest poor Johns. Strange fish. Were I in England now as was I was, and had but this fish painted, not a holiday full there, but would give a piece of silver, there would this monster make a man. Any strange beast there makes a man. When they will not give a doit to relieve a lame beggar, they will lay out 10 to see a dead Indian. Oh. Like it like a man. And it's things like arms. Warm of my troth, I now let loose my opinion, hold it no longer. This is no fish, but an islander that is lately suffered by a thunderbolt. Oh, alas. Oh, the storm has come again. The best way is to creep under his gabardine. There is no other shelter thereabouts. Oh. Misery acquaints a man with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud to the dregs of the storm may pass.
I shall no more to see, here shall I die ashore. This is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. Oh, well, here's my comfort. The master of a swab of a boat, said it I, the gunner and his mate, loved Mole and Meg, get married in Marjorie. But none of us cared for Kate. She had a tongue with a tang, would cry to a sailor, go hang! She loved not the savour of tar nor a pitch, but a tailor might scratch her where she did itch. Then the sea boys let her go hang. This is a scurvy tutu. Well, here's my comfort.
Do not torment me, oh!
What's the matter? Do we have devils here and you put tricks pawns with savages and men in I have not escaped drowning to be afeard now of your 4 legs.
The spirit torments me, oh!
This is some monster of the isle with 4 legs. Who, if God as I take it, an ague. The devil should he learn our language. I'll give him some relief if it be but for that. If I can get him to Naples to keep him tame and recover him, he's a present for any imper that ever trod on its leather.
Do not torment me, prithee. I'll bring my wood home faster.
He's in his fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle.
Thou dost me yet but little hurt. Thou wilt anon, I know it by thy trembling. Thou Prospero works upon thee.
Come on your ways, chap. This is what will give you language, cat. Open your mouth. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this will shake your shaking, I can tell you, and that soundly. Oh. Open your chaps again. Yeah, you cannot tell who's your friend.
I should know that voice. That should be. But he is drowned, and these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. The most curious monster. Amen, I shall pour some in my other mouth.
Stephano!
Does I have a mouth call my name? Oh, mercy me, this is a devil and no monster. Amen, I will leave him, I have no long spoon.
Oh, Stephano! If thou be Stephano, touch me and speak to me, for I am Trinculo. Be not afeard, thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, come forth. I will pull thee by the lesser legs. Oh, yeah, if any be legs be Trinculo, these are they. Oh, thou art very Trinculo indeed. Oh. Trinculo, how came so to be the siege of this mooncalf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed with a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stephano? I hope now thou art not drowned. There's a storm overflown. I hid me under the dead mooncalf's gabardine for fear of the storm. But art thou living, Stephano? Stephano, to the American state!
Prithee, do not turn me about, my stomach's not constant.
These be fine things, and if they be not sprites, that's a brave god and bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
Trinculo, how didst thou come hither? How didst thou escape? Swear by this bottle how thou escaped. I escaped on a butt of sack which the sailors heaved overboard.
I'll swear upon that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Yeah, swear then how thou escapest.
Swum ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Though thou canst swim like a duck, thou art made like a goose. Yeah.
Stephano, hast any more of this?
The whole butt, man. Oh. Oh, now, mooncalf, how does on egg you?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon, I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen thee in her, and I do adore thee. My mistress showed me thee, and thy dog, and thy bush.
Come on, then, down and swear to that. I will furnish it with new conscience and none.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him. A very weak monster. The man in the moon. A most poor, credulous monster. Oh, well drawn monster in good sooth.
I'll show thee every hurdle into the island, and I will kiss thy foot. I prithee, be my god.
Oh! Come on, then, down and swear.
Yeah, by this light, this is the most perfidious and drunken monster. When his gods are asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I'll kiss thy foot. I'll swear myself thy subject.
Come on, then, down and swear. Oh!
I shall laugh myself to death at this puppy-headed monster. Yeah, a most scurvy monster. If I could find it in the art to beat him.
Hey.
But this monster's in drink.
Kiss.
Abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pluck thee berries, I'll fish for thee, and get thee wood enough. A plague upon the tyrant that I serve. I'll bear him no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
A ridiculous monster to make a wonder of a drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails will dig thee pig nuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. I'll bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes I'll get thee young scamel from the rock. Wilt thou go with me?
I prithee, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all our company else being drowned, we shall inherit here. Here, bear my bottle.
Farewell, master!
Oh.
Farewell! Farewell!
A howling monster, a drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, no fetching firing and requiring, no scrape trencher, no wash dish. Ban! Ban, Caliban! As a new master, get a new man. Freedom! High day, freedom! Freedom! High day, freedom!
Oh, brave monster, lead the way!
Why, lords? What wrongs are these? Was ever seen an emperor in Rome thus overborne, troubled, confronted thus, and for the extent of eagle justice, used in such contempt, my lords? You know, as know the mightful gods, however these disturbers of our peace buzz in the people's ears, they're not have passed, but even with law, against the willful sons of old Andronicus. And what? And if his sorrows have so overwhelmed his wits, should we be thus afflicted in his reeks, his fits, his frenzy, and his bitterness? And now he writes to heaven for his redress. See? Here's to Jove. And this to Mercury. This to Apollo. This to the god of war! Sweet scrolls to fly about the streets of Rome! What's this but libeling against the Senate and blazoning our injustice everywhere? A goodly humor, is it not, my lords? As who would say, in Rome no justice were, but if I live, his feigned ecstasies shall be no shelter to these outrages.
My gracious lord, my lovely Saturnine, lord of my life, commander of my thoughts, calm thee, and bear the faults of Titus' age, the effects of sorrow for his valiant sons, whose loss hath pierced him deep and scarred his heart, and rather comfort his distressed plight than prosecute the meanest or the best for these contempts. Why, thus it shall become a high-witted Tamora to gloze withal. But Titus, I have touched thee to the quick. Thy life blood out, if Aaron now be wise, then all is safe. The anchor in the port. How now, good fellow? Wouldst thou speak with us?
Oh, yea, forsooth, and your mistress ship be imperial.
Empress I am, but yonder sits the emperor.
Oh, 'tis he! God and Saint Stephen give you God, and I have brought you a letter and a couple of pigeons here.
Go, take him away and hang him presently.
How much money must I have?
Come, sirrah, you must be hanged.
Hang, my lady! Then have I brought upon that to a fair hand?
Despiteful and intolerable wrongs! Shall I endure this monstrous villainy? I know from whence this same device proceeds. May this be borne as if his traitorous sons that died by law for murder of our brother have by my means been butchered wrongfully? Go! Drag the villain hither by the hair! Nor age, nor honor shall shape privilege for this proud mock, or be thy slaughterman, sly, frantic wretch that hopes to make me great, in hopes that self should give in Rome and me. What news with thee, Emilius?
My lords, Rome never had more cause. The Goths have gathered heaven with power of high-resolved men bent to the spoil. They hither march amain under conduct of Lucius, son to old Andronicus, who threats in course of this revenge to do as much as Carolianus did.
It is warlike Lucius, general of the gods. These tidings nip me, and I hang the head as flowers with frost, or grass beat down with storms. Aye, now begins our sorrows to approach. 'Tis he the common people love so much. Myself hath often heard them say, when I have walked like a private man, that Lucius' banishment was wrongfully, and they have wished that Lucius were their emperor.
Why should you fear? Is not your city strong?
Aye, but the citizens favor Lucius, and will revolt from me to succor him.
King, be thy thoughts imperious like thy name. Is the sun dimmed that gnats do fly in it? The eagle suffers little birds to sing, and is not careful what they mean thereby, knowing that with the shadow of his wings he can at pleasure stint their melody. Even so mayest thou, the giddy men of Rome. Then cheer thy spirit, for know thou, Emperor, I will enchant the old Andronicus with words more sweet and yet more dangerous than baits to fish or honey stalks to sheep, when as the one is wounded with the bait, the other rotten, delicious feed.
But he will not entreat his son for us.
If Tamora entreat him, then he will, for I can smooth and fill his aged ears with golden promises, that were his heart almost impregnable, his old ears deaf, yet should both ear and heart obey my tongues. Go thou before to be our ambassador. Say that the emperor requests a parley of warlike Lucius, and appoint the meeting even at his father's house, the old Andronicus.
Emilius, do this message honorably, and if he stand in hostage for his safety, bid him demand what pledge will please him best.
I will do that bidding presently.
Now will I to that old Andronicus, and temper him with all the art I have, to pluck proud Lucius from the warlike Goths. And now, sweet emperor, be blithe again, and bury all thy fear in my devices.
Then go, successively, and plead to him.
Thus in this strange and sad habiliment I will encounter with Andronicus, and say I am Revenge, sent from below to join with him and right his heinous wrongs. Knock at his study, where they say he keeps to ruminate strange plots of dire revenge. Tell him revenge is come to join with him and work confusion on his enemies.
Who doth molest my contemplation? Is it your trick to make me ope the door, that so my sad decrees may fly away, and all my study be to no effect? You are deceived, for what is written shall be executed.
Titus, I am come to talk to thee.
No, not a word. How can I grace my talk, wanting a hand to give it action? Thou hast the odds of me, and therefore no more.
If thou didst know me, thou wouldst talk with me.
Art thou mine enemy? Art thou revenge? Come to me to be a torment to mine enemies?
I am. Therefore come down and welcome me.
Do me some service, ere I come to thee. Lo, by thy side, where rape and murder stands. Now give some surance thou art revenge. Stab them, or tear them on thy chariot wheels. And then I'll come and be thy wagoner, and whirl along with thee about the globes, provide thee two proper palfreys black as jet to hail thy vengeful wagon swift away, and seek out murderers in their guilty caves. And when thy car is laden with their heads, I will dismount, and by thy wagon wheel trot like a servile footman all day long, even from Hyperion's rising in the east to his very downfall in the sea. And day by day I'll do this heavy task, so thou destroy rapine and murder there.
These are my ministers, and come with me.
They thy ministers? What are they called?
Rape and murder? Therefore call it so, 'cause they take vengeance on such kind of men.
Good Lord, how like the Emperor's sons they are, and you the Empress. But we worldly men have miserable, mad, mistaking eyes. Oh, sweet revenge! Now do I come to thee, and if one arm's embracement will content thee, I will embrace thee in it by and by.
This closing with him fits his lunacy. Whate'er I forge to feed his brain's sick humours, do you uphold and maintain in your speeches. For now he firmly takes me for revenge. And being credulous in this mad thought, I'll make him send for Lucius, his son. And whilst I at a banquet hold him sure, I'll find some cunning practice out of hand to scatter and disperse the giddy Goths, or at the least make them his enemies. See, here he comes. And I must ply my theme.
Long have I been forlorn, and all for thee. Welcome, dread fury, to my woeful house. Rapine and murder, you are welcome too. How like the Empress and her sons you are. Well are you fitted, had you but a Moor. Could not all hell afford you such a devil? For well I wot the Empress never wags, but in her company there is a Moor. And would you represent our queen aright, it were convenient you had such a devil. But welcome as you are. What shall we do?
What wouldst thou have us do, Andronicus?
Show me a murderer. I'll deal with him.
Show me a villain that has done a rape, and I am sent to be revenged on him.
Show me 1,000 that have done thee wrong, and I will be revenged on them all.
Look round about the wicked streets of Rome, and when thou findest a man that's like thyself, good murder, stab him, for he's a murderer. Go thou with them, and when it is thy hap to find another that is like to thee, good rapine, stab him, for he is a ravisher. Go thou with them. And in the Emperor's court there is a queen, attended by a Moor. Well shalt thou know her by thine own proportion, for up and down she doth resemble thee. I pray thee, do on them some violent death. They have been violent to me and mine.
Well hast thou lessoned us, this shall we do. But would it please thee, good Andronicus, to send for Lucius, thy thrice valiant son, whose leads towards Rome a band of warlike Goths, and bid him come and banquet at thy house? When he is here, even at thy solemn feast, I will bring in the Empress and her sons, the Emperor himself, and all thy foes, and at thy mercy shall they stoop and kneel, and on them shalt thou ease thy angry heart. What says Andronicus to this device?
Marcus, my brother, 'tis sad Titus calls. Go, gentle Marcus, to thy nephew Lucius. Thou shalt seek him out among the Goths. Bid him repair to me, and bring with him some of the chiefest princes of the Goths. Bid him encamp his army where they are. Tell him the Emperor and the Empress too feast at my house, and he shall feast with them. This do thy for my father's love, and thy father's love, and so let him, as he regards his aged father's life.
This will I do, and soon return again.
Now will I hence about thy business, and take my ministers along with me.
No, let revenge and murder stay with me. Or I'll call my brother back again and cleave to no revenge but Lucius.
What say you, boys? Will you abide with him, whilst I go tell my lord the Emperor how I have governed our determined jest? Yield to his humour, smooth, and speak him fair, and tarry with him till I turn again.
I knew them all, though they suppose me mad, and will all reach them in their own devices. A pair of cursed hellhounds, and their dam.
Madam, depart at pleasure. Leave us here.
Farewell, Andronicus. Revenge now goes to lay a complot to betray thy foes.
I know thou dost, and sweet revenge, farewell.
Tell us, old man, how shall we be employed?
Tut, I have work enough for you to do. Marcus! Come hither! Emilius!
What is your will?
Know you these two?
The Emperor's sons, I take them. Chiron. Demetrius.
Oh, fie, Marcus, you are too much deceived. This one is murder, and rape is the other's name. And therefore bind them, gentle Marcus! Emilius, lay hands on them! Oh, have you heard me wish for such an hour, and now I find it!
and therefore bind them sure, and stop their mouths if they begin to cry.
Phyllis, Macbeth, we are the Empress' sons! Therefore, do we what we are commanded. Stop! Close their mouths! Let them not speak a word! If he shall bound, look that you bind them fast!